Hi, in this video I'm going to introduce you to a new idea called a logarithm. Before I do that, I'm going to show you why we need logarithms. I bet you can solve this problem for me. If I ask you what x is, if 2 to the x equals 4, I'm sure you would tell me, well, 2 squared is 4. That would make x equal to 2. And you'd be correct. You could probably do this one as well. Let's do 10 to the x equals 1,000. Hopefully you know your exponent rules there, and if you raise 10 to the third power, that would give you the number 1,000, because it has 3 zeros in it. So those problems are pretty easy to do. What happens if I change the problems? What if I said, what is x if 2 to the x equals 9? Now you might not know what the answer is. You might be able to guess what it is. Let's think about this. You know that 2 squared is 4, 2 cubed is 8. You might have to think about this one a little bit. 2 to the 4th, that's 16. So look at that. We know what all of the powers of 2 are up until 16. Well, we want to know, what exponent do you put on a 2 to get 9? That would fall somewhere between here. So the exponent must be between 3 and 4. So let's say that x must be between 3 and 4. Wouldn't you like to know exactly what it is? Well, I would. So I'm actually going to type that in my calculator. And I got x is 3.17, or about that. Now I'm not going to tell you how to do that and use the calculator in this video, because we did a pretty good job. We knew that the answer had to be between 3 and 4, and I think we would have guessed that it was closer to the 3, right? Since the 9 is closer to the 8 than it is to the 16. But what I am going to teach you to do is how to write the answer. So we knew that it was between 3 and 4. I'm going to write exactly what it is, and I'm going to use a logarithm to do that. So I'm going to take this question, which is in exponential form, and I'm going to change it to log form. And I'm going to write it down right now and explain how I did that. So I'm going to say x equals log, which stands for logarithm, base 2 of 9. I'm going to say that again. Log base 2 of 9. That simply says, what exponent do you put on 2 to get 9? It's kind of weird. We answered the question with another question. But the answer to that question is x. X is the exponent you put on 2 to get 9. And this is the perfect answer because my calculator knows exactly what that is. So if you were able to type that into a calculator, and like I said, I'll show you how to do that in class, it would give you the answer. Basically, somebody guessed all these answers back in the day, and they made a table of them, and they put that table in the calculator for you. So let's try another one. What would x be if 10 to the x equaled 20? Don't get fooled. The answer is not 2, because 10 squared is 100, not 20. You got to know your exponent rules, how exponents work. Well, I'm going to take a guess what the answer is. I know that 10 to the first is 10, and 10 squared is 100. Well, 20 is much closer to 10 than it is to 100. So I'm going to say that x is between 1 and 2, but it's probably closer to 1. So I'm going to say x is approximately 1.1. Alright, so now I'm going to do this the way I did the last problem, and I'm going to go from exponential form into log form. So x equals, and remember how I write this down. Log stands for what exponent do you put on 10 to get 20? And that's the perfect answer. I'm going to use my calculator and tell you what that is. My calculator tells me it is 1.3. Ah, I was kind of close. So now that you know how to solve these problems, all you need to know is how to use the calculator to find them. I'll show you that in class.